Time synchronization across environments is the quiet foundation that makes logs comparable. When clocks drift, even perfect events tell conflicting stories, and sequences cannot be trusted. A dependable approach uses a small set of authoritative time servers and requires systems to sync on boot and at regular intervals. Cloud workloads, containers, network devices, and laptops should all follow the same pattern so their timestamps align within a tight tolerance. Monitoring detects large offsets and alerts when synchronization fails because a broken clock is a hidden incident. During investigations, analysts rely on timeline accuracy to decide causality, and auditors look for proof that the practice is enforced. With consistent time, correlation becomes straightforward. Alerts reduce false noise, and the narrative of events reads like a single diary rather than scattered notes. Authentication and access event logs record who tried to get in, who succeeded, and through which path they traveled. These entries include sign-ins, multi-factor prompts, token exchanges, and privilege grants across web portals, virtual private networks, and application gateways. The goal is to capture enough context to answer common questions without leaking sensitive data, such as recording user identifiers and device posture, but not full secrets. Failed attempts matter as much as successful ones because patterns of failure often precede account takeover. Normalizing fields like user, source, method, and outcome helps correlation later, especially when multiple identity systems exist. Alerts can watch for impossible travel, sudden method changes, or repeated prompts that suggest fatigue attacks. With clean access logs, teams can quickly confirm intent, scope actions, and spot abuse early. Administrative actions and configuration change logs show how the environment evolves over time. They capture additions, deletions, policy edits, permission changes, and system tweaks in consoles, scripts, and infrastructure tools. Each entry should include who initiated the change, what object or setting moved, and the before and after state when possible. Capturing the command without context is rarely enough. The value is in understanding the effect. These records help resolve outages by explaining what changed just before a symptom appeared. They also support accountability and peer review by making sensitive adjustments visible to more than one set of eyes. When combined with approvals from change management, the logs form a traceable chain from request to action. Auditors rely on this evidence to verify that critical operations are controlled and reversible. Application logs need to balance errors, transactions, and privacy. Errors should include stack traces or messages that lead engineers to root causes without exposing secrets. Transaction logs should describe key business events, orders placed, records updated, messages delivered, with identifiers that allow linking to user actions and system components. To protect individuals, avoid logging raw personal data when tokens, hashes, or references will do, and mask values that are not necessary for troubleshooting. Rate limits and back pressure keep verbose components from overwhelming the platform during failures. Structured formats, such as predictable fields per line, allow downstream tools to parse and analyze without guesswork. With thoughtful design, application logs become a dependable window into product health and user impact while respecting the data they describe. Endpoint telemetry and endpoint detection and response forwarding provide ground truth from laptops and servers. This telemetry includes process starts, module loads, network connections, file modifications, and security agent findings. Forwarding these events to a central platform enables correlation with identity and network data, revealing whether a detection is isolated or part of a larger pattern. Policies should define a minimum set of events for all devices and elevated detail for high-risk roles or systems. Careful tuning reduces duplicative noise while preserving the artifacts that analysts need to reconstruct timelines. Health signals about the agent itself, installed, updated, and actively reporting, are as important as detections. With consistent endpoint telemetry, investigations move from speculation to concrete sequences, and coverage gaps surface before attackers exploit them. Domain name system and network flow logs show where systems try to go and how much they move. Domain name system queries reveal command and control attempts, typo squatting, and unexpected software behavior that reaches for strange domains. Network flow records summarize who talked to whom, over which ports, for how long, and at what volume, without collecting full payloads. Together, these views help detect lateral movement, data exfiltration, and misconfigured services exposed to the Internet. Enrichment with device identity and location turns raw addresses into understandable entities. Retention should balance the value of historical patterns against storage cost, with a longer window for flows that support incident lookbacks. When combined with endpoint and identity logs, DNS and flow data explain intent and impact with clarity. Alerting thresholds and triage routing convert raw events into actions. Thresholds should come from known risks and learned baselines, not guesses, and they should be easy to adjust as the environment changes. Triage routing sends the right alert to the right role with the right urgency, including on-call rotations and clear escalation steps. Suppression rules reduce duplicate notifications during noisy incidents while preserving one high-fidelity signal. Playbooks link alerts to first checks and likely next steps so responders move quickly without reinventing analysis. Metrics such as alert volume, acknowledgement time, and time to close help tune thresholds over time. Good alerting is quiet most days and loud when it truly matters, guiding attention rather than demanding it constantly. Evidence ties the logging program to verifiable outcomes. Useful artifacts include exports that show priority sources connected, screenshots of time synchronization settings, dashboards that track ingestion health and coverage, and tickets that document alert handling from detection to closure. Evidence should be organized by topic so auditors and leaders can follow the story from requirement to control to proof without detours. Automated reports keep the set current and reduce manual effort, while spot checks ensure samples remain representative. During incidents, the same evidence accelerates learning by revealing exactly which signals fired and how responders acted. Treat evidence as a byproduct of good operations, not a separate project, and reviews will feel routine rather than burdensome. Common gaps in tuning priorities appear across many teams. Missing time sync, unnormalized fields, and silent agent failures create blind spots that only surface under stress. Overly broad collection without retention planning balloons costs and forces hasty deletions that lose history. Alerts that trigger on volume rather than behavior create fatigue and hide real problems. Tuning starts with basics. Verify coverage, align schemas, reduce duplicate events, and refine thresholds based on real investigations. Small, steady changes, one noisy rule fixed, one missing field added, one broken forwarder repaired, compound into a calmer system. When the platform gets quieter and answers arrive faster, tuning has hit the mark. A timely, trustworthy logging practice proves that the organization can see itself clearly and act with confidence. Priority sources feed a central platform. Time stays aligned, and events about access, changes, applications, endpoints, and networks arrive in formats people can search and machines can analyze. Alerts route to the right hands with just enough urgency, and access to logs is protected like any other sensitive asset. Evidence accumulates naturally because processes are defined and measured. With this rhythm in place, investigations move quickly, audits progress smoothly, and teams learn from each signal to make the next day quieter. That dependable clarity is the I1 standard brought to life through disciplined logging.